Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Chiva Drive, and this time around we are back in the 2025 BMW M5, but this time around we are testing the Touring wagon version, and just like last time we're gonna compare it for you with the Mercedes E53AMG Touring as well, that's coming up. And why not mention the Audi RS6 Avant, that it's a direct competition, except that the Audi is pure gas. I believe it's mild hybrid, which is electrified, what they call, where the BMW and Mercedes cars are full plug-in hybrids. So we'll talk about comparisons. For now, let's give you the numbers on this car. The BMW M5 Touring starts at 138,000 Canadian dollars, which is about $4,000 more than the sedan version, and not much of a difference. This car has, just like the sedan, has 717 horsepower, and it has 18 kilowatt-hour battery. That's 18 gross, around 15 kilowatt-hours net, with a rated range of 40 kilometers. We'll tell you about our test results once we jump inside. How does it compare with the Mercedes E53AMG Touring? The Mercedes is about 20 grand cheaper. So the sedan starts at 113 Canadian. It goes up to 119 for the Touring version, and that version is not arriving until next year. But we will be testing it for you in the next few months. In the meantime, you can refer back to the video that we shot of the E53AMG sedan a few months ago, so we already have that video up for you on our channel. Let's give you a bit of a walk around to compare the space with the sedan. So first of all, the front looks exactly the same as the sedan. The wheels, keep in mind, these are 20-inch wheels, but these are winter wheels, so they are smaller and higher profile than the summer wheels. So we're testing it just like with the M5 sedan. We're testing it in the winter conditions, even though we're late November, but the winter has just arrived with snow and cold and below zero temperatures. So I'm glad that they put on those Hankook snow tires. They are staggered even for the winter, so 20-inch rims, 275 front, 285 rear. The charge port is still in the front. Only level 2, J1772, and that's one of the major differences with the Mercedes E53AMG, is that the Mercedes is capable of DC fast charging up to 60 kilowatts. Let's show you the interior. This is a matte white exterior with a gray interior with some blue accents in the middle. Beautiful sports seats where you can adjust so many different ways, including the lateral support. You can squeeze yourself or loosen yourself to your liking. The wheel is typical M5 wheel with shift paddles here and M1, M2 driving modes. So we'll go through it in a moment. For now, we just want to give you the impression of the space. This is my ideal seat position for driving. Let me just jump back in the back seat to show you the back space. It should be a little better than the sedan, but maybe not. And it is pretty tight back here for someone my height, and I'm 190 centimeters or 6'3". So the legroom is lacking. I'm touching the seat in front of me, so I would have to put myself in a not very comfortable driving position in order for another tall person to sit behind me. The headroom is very good, not touching the ceiling or the glass roof, even with the blind closed. And this roof, it's a fixed glass roof, but it has an electric blind that you can open and close to your liking. So yes, headroom great, legroom not so great. Let's show you the trunk, and this is where the big advantage is for this wagon version. But first, let's show you of course, the beautiful Harman Kardon speakers here. But sorry, it's Bowers and Wilkins. Pardon me, Bowers and Wilkins. And so here are the blinds for this M5 Touring. They are manual blinds. We'll keep them off for now. So let me show you the trunk. And yes, getting in and out of this tight space is not easy. All right. Let's pop the trunk for you. There it is, and obviously you have much more storage space here in a Touring than in a sedan. You have a beautiful cover here, and then the nice thing about this cover, the moment you open, let's do it again. Let's close this, and nice little neat trick. So when you open it with the cover closed, the cover automatically slides forward for you to be able to access those items. So this is kind of nice. The small opening section here, because the battery is below, so there's not much space, but there's enough space for charging cables, emergency tire kit, etc., etc. There we go. That's about it. The rear seats, just like in a sedan, are 40-20-40 split, and you fold them by pulling these levers here on left and right. That's about it for the trunk. Let's jump inside, take you for a spin, and of course launch this beautiful M5, including the engine, V8 engine sounds, and then we'll tell you about the results of the testing. Some real winter weather today, driving this BMW M5 Touring 2025 edition, 717 horsepower on the winter tires, Hankook snow tires. As you can see, conditions are pretty nasty. This amazing M5 Touring vehicle, wagon with the sunroof that stretches all the way back. The BMW Assist Plus hands-free works only on 400 series highways. Including the lane change, which requires a manual activation. On the previous BMW, we experienced automatic lane change with only confirmation through your eye movement. So we'll try and see on the 400, although today in this bad weather, with up to a meter of snow expected, maybe not the best day to experiment and test the automatic lane changes, because BMW lane changes are quite sudden. Not subtle at all, quite quick, not very smooth, not as smooth as some of the other automatic lane change systems that we've experienced, like Super Cruise or Blue Cruise on Ford, and Super Cruise on the Chevrolet and Cadillac vehicles. So that's about it. Just wanted to give you a quick impressions. The consumption, the lowest in the city we had was just under 40 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers with climate on. In this temperature, zero temperature with snow, we can't hypermile without the climate, otherwise we would just fog up very quickly. So in the city, just under 40. On the highway, actually just under 50. We thought that the consumption on the Cadillac Escalade was high. Well, this monster is consuming quite a lot of energy as well, and it's mostly, we assume, due to the fact that there's no heat pump. It's using resistance heaters to heat up the battery and operate the climate control system. All right, so that's about it. Stay tuned for the full review and comparison, perhaps. Okay, so we are here inside a 2025 BMW M5 Touring, which is basically, interior is the same as the sedan, so we won't spend too much time. We'll just show you the various screens that they may have changed since the introduction of the sedan version. The same shift paddles here to shift the gears, M1, M2 drive modes. You also access drive modes through the here and the button here. So you have road, sport, and track. Then you have the hybrid modes, dynamic plus, dynamic, hybrid, electric, and e-control. So we've explained all these in our previous video, so we won't go over it again. If you want to have as much battery as possible being charged while you're driving, you use the e-control mode. Electric is obvious, it's pure electric. Hybrid is both. Dynamic uses the engine at all times, and dynamic plus, it goes into even higher performance level. But then once you're in dynamic plus, you go M1, M2 to have the most extreme version. So we'll start with that. Actually, we're gonna go into M2 activation. It warns you that it turns off. You have to press it twice to confirm. The DSC is off, stability is off. It's in four-wheel drive sport mode. and it's the exhaust gets even louder in this mode. So for the display, for the center display, there is different possibilities here. If you like to keep it simple, you have to go to that's not here. Here you go. The different options are, as you can see here, tires, sport displays, G-meter, media radio. So it starts with media radio, then you have a G-meter, sport displays, then you have the tires, drivetrain, temperatures and stuff, setup for all your settings, the map display, route preview, augmented view, which turns on the front camera, and then the augmented reality arrows appear when you're navigating. You have the assisted view, which unfortunately anytime you turn on the Autopilot, the Assist Plus Autopilot, which is hands-free system by the way, it comes on. So then you want to go back to your preferred display, you have to keep clicking on that, and then you have to keep changing it. Trip data, we kept it most of the time on the trip data, and you can choose between different kinds of trip data, from charging, from start, etc, etc, but you have to adjust that through the main menus here. So in order to simplify the display, you have to basically go to not the lap timer, reduce. So the reduced is here, so there's nothing in the middle of your screen, and then you can just simplify it by merging those two, and this way it's the simplest display with nothing displayed in the middle. So let's launch the car for you. We're gonna let you hear the exhaust, of course, from the outside, and now you'll hear it from the inside, and it's quite loud. And then we'll go back to full electric mode because it's the quietest one. The car was fully discharged after our trip yesterday, and by using Dynamic Plus in the city, we got up to 15-kilometer EV range. So the car recharged itself, but at the cost of consumption, and the consumption is around 26 liters per 100 kilometers. So it's definitely that V8, when you're driving it aggressively, uses a lot of gas, but you always have a choice of using the full electric. The rated range is 40 kilometers. We'll tell you in a moment our test results. That being said, let's stop talking and let's launch the car for you. So we're gonna basically we're already in M2 and we're in the Dynamic Plus. We're gonna go with the manual shifting. You can also use Dynamic Plus in automatic, but it's much more fun shifting the gears here through the shift paddles behind the steering wheel. Okay, let's go. And there you go. It's pretty amazing. 3.3 seconds, 0 to 100, 717 horsepower with both electric and engine engaged. So these are spectacular numbers. Not as spectacular as the Audi RS6 Avant, but keep in mind that Audi RS6 Avant is only a mild hybrid. So the consumption, you can never bring it down. It'll always use a huge amount of gas. We're here. Okay, let's just put it back in drive. There you go. In fact, we can just put it back in electric. And we're driving completely silent. Love this car. So in the case of Audi, the car is strictly a gas car, with minute electrification via mild hybrid system, where the BMW and Mercedes are plug-in hybrids. The Mercedes has a larger battery. The battery is well over 20 kilowatt hours, where here it's 18 gross, 15 net. So the rated range here is 40 kilometers. On the Mercedes, it's 60 kilometers. Of course, if you go back to our videos of both the Mercedes and the BMW M5, you will notice that we always manage to beat the rated EV range, especially in warmer conditions. Although the BMW, this one here and the last M5 sedan, we tested it in winter conditions. So this gives you an idea about the worst possible performance of the EV mode in those cars. First of all, let's tell you about how long we were able to stretch it. So the first trip we took, that was down the Don Valley Parkway, following traffic in the HOV lane on the 404, later on DVP, which obviously tends to be slower, but it was not a rush hour, so we were driving smoothly with the traffic in the left lane. The consumption is quite high on this BMW. The electrical consumption varies between 35 and 45 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, but we still managed to push it all the way to 60 kilometers EV range, which is 50% higher than the rated EV range of 40 kilometers, which is quite impressive. Mind you, we were driving, it was a sunny day above zero, so we turned off the climate to see how much we could stretch it, but that was highway. So if you want to drive on the side roads or in the city in EV mode, you can stretch those EV miles even further. Of course, the Mercedes gets even longer EV range because it has a larger battery, and the Mercedes also has the DC charging capability of 60 kilowatts. So that's a big bonus for Mercedes. Another bonus for Mercedes is that the sunroof here in the BMW, it's a fixed glass roof. On the Mercedes, it actually opens, which we kind of like that. So we like those two items on the Mercedes more, the fast charging capability, the larger battery, and the opening sunroof. What else can we tell you about this BMW M5 Touring? It comes with the Assist Plus package, which is basically your hands-free system. And we have a short video from how the system works. It has its limitations. So at night and then in bad weather, and we had a lot of snow on the roads this week. So on all our attempts, we managed to keep it in hands-free in ideal conditions during the day on a sunny day. But as soon as it's either night or snow or rain, the hands-free system disallows the hands-free operation, and you have to hold on to the steering wheel, which kind of makes sense. An amazing car, all in all. To be honest with you, we would really hesitate which between the two plug-in hybrids. We would not even consider the Audi RS6 because it's a pure gas. And then we would hesitate between Mercedes and BMW. Now, the Mercedes is full 20 grand cheaper. So it's basically 120 grand for the Mercedes. This one starts at 140, and as you see it here, it's 160 grand because it's fully equipped with a lot of options, as all press cars tend to be. So it's definitely 20 grand cheaper. And we would have a tough time deciding between those two cars because of the larger battery, because of the fast charging and the opening sunroof. I think the Mercedes, if we were to have this kind of money, win a lottery and be able to have a choice, we would probably lean towards the Mercedes, even though it's a full second slower. So remember, Mercedes, the total system power is 580 horsepower versus 717 on the BMW, and the rated acceleration from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour on the Mercedes is 4.2 seconds, where here it's 3.3 seconds, a full second quicker for this BMW. If this is your priority, if the performance is your priority, then you should go for the BMW. In our case, we don't really care about the acceleration. The 1 second difference is not a huge difference. So let's try and put the auto steer on. Of course, we're not on the highway. We're just here on the Queensway 3-lane highway. The auto steer is on, but it's not hands-free. So again, you would have to be with BMWs, the Assist Plus hands-free system is limited strictly. There you go. It's reminding us that we have to keep our hands on the steering wheel. And again, the annoying assist display goes on when you turn on the Assist Plus. And again, it's geofenced only to 400 series highways, like we told you before in quite a few of our videos. So all the Assist Plus BMW systems on all the BMWs are geofenced to only the major highways, 400 series highways, etc. Where some of the other systems, like the Super Cruise from GM or Blue Cruise from Ford, you are also able to use it on smaller roads, as we recently posted in some of our videos. So that's about it. If you have any questions whatsoever about this BMW M5 Touring, then definitely comment under our video. We'll be happy to answer your questions. And as usual, do not forget to press the subscribe button to be notified when the next video is available. We have lots more videos coming up for pure electric, plug-in hybrid, and even hybrid cars to our channel, so stay tuned. And thank you to our sponsor, Condos and Castles Realty. You can find them at www.condosandcastles.com. Thank you for watching. See you at the next review. Just one final quick note, and for that we can actually go to live vehicle. Tell you about the consumption. We forgot to tell you about the hybrid consumption on the highway on our regular test route, which is Toronto to Georgian Bay and back. We did it 2 round trips. And every time we try to use the auto mode, where the car selects the mode itself in hybrid mode. Then we toggle between Dynamic Plus and electric. So basically we used electric on the side roads and Dynamic Plus on the highway in order to regain some EV range that way. But the results were always between the best result was 7 liters per 100 kilometers on that road. That's again 150 kilometers, with a best result being around 40 kilometers total in those tests in EV mode. So 40 kilometers in EV mode and around 110 kilometers in a gas mode. Excuse me. And so the best result was 7 liters per 100, which is really good for a car of this size, this weight, with 717 horsepower and a big V8 turbo V8 engine. So 7 liters was the best, 8 liters was the worst average, and then we had a couple of other trips exactly smack in the middle with 7.5 liters per 100 kilometers. So very good hybrid consumption for this car, and the hybrid mode, of course, it works best in the city, so you can stretch those EV miles in the city and bring your consumption down even further. But even if you're traveling to the cottage, just leave it in automatic mode. The car will choose the best mode to use in order to save gas, and you can even use the e-control mode right here, so the car will know best which to use. So right now, even though we were in electric and we went to e-control, the engine came on, but this will in the end will produce the best results in terms of the lowest fuel consumption, but also keeping the battery conditioned and maximizing the EV range as well. So that's about it for our final quick note. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at the next review.